Welcome back to the EMT Spot's Blood Pressure Podcast. I'm Samuel Harrison.
And I'm Olivia Harper.
And today we're going deep on something that's pretty fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
The connection between sleep,
Right.
high blood pressure, and how it all impacts our brains as we age.
As we get older.
Yeah. You know, we're going to be talking about whether getting enough sleep
Right.
could be even more important for people with hypertension.
It's such a fascinating area.
Yeah.
And there's some new research out
Okay.
that's really shedding light on this connection.
So tell me about what did this research actually look at?
So this study
Mhm.
followed 682 people over the age of 40
Oh.
who were already a part of the Framingham Heart Study.
Okay.
And none of these folks had any history of dementia or stroke.
Right.
So they were starting off with pretty healthy brains.
Gotcha. So they wanted to see how sleep or lack of sleep might affect people differently based on their blood pressure.
Exactly. What they found was actually pretty striking. The people in the study who had high blood pressure and weren't getting enough sleep showed some kind of worrisome signs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, their cognitive function was a lot worse.
Oh.
And there were even indicators of more advanced brain aging,
Right.
even potential injury.
So wait, does this mean if I have normal blood pressure, I can just skip sleep and be fine?
Well,
Like pull all-nighters?
not so fast.
Okay.
While the study did find this effect was more pronounced in people with high blood pressure,
Right.
everyone needs sleep.
Right, of course.
I mean, what this study highlights is that for folks managing hypertension, prioritizing sleep seems even more critical
Oh, wow.
for protecting your brain health.
So it's like almost like
Yeah.
if you have high blood pressure,
Yeah.
your brain is on like a tighter deadline
Yeah.
when it comes to sleep.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you think about the impact on things like executive function.
Okay, remind me, what exactly does that cover?
Right. So executive function, it's essentially all those high-level thinking skills
Uh,
we rely on every day. So planning, reasoning,
right.
making decisions.
Yeah.
You know, imagine like trying to juggle a bunch of tasks.
Yeah.
On a good night's sleep, you're focused,
Yeah.
efficient,
Yeah.
but then after a rough night, everything feels so much harder.
Oh, totally.
Right. Your brain is just sluggish.
Yeah.
Now imagine that happening all the time.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have high blood pressure.
Oh, that's scary.
This study is saying that combo could seriously affect those crucial executive functions.
Makes you really appreciate a good night's sleep.
Right.
But you mentioned potential brain injury. What's going on there?
Right. So that's where this idea of cerebral small vessel disease comes in.
Okay.
So imagine the tiny blood vessels in your brain as a network of delicate roads transporting vital nutrients.
Okay.
Now imagine those roads getting damaged, potholes forming,
Yeah.
making it harder for the delivery trucks to get through. That's basically what happens with cerebral small vessel disease.
Right.
And it can lead to some serious problems down the road, like stroke and cognitive decline.
Okay. Wow. It's a pretty vivid image.
Yeah.
So how did the researchers actually track sleep in this study?
Right.
Did they just ask people how much they slept?
So they actually went a step further.
Okay.
They used both questionnaires about people's sleep habits
Okay.
and a home-based sleep study.
Got it.
That way, they got both the subjective experience of sleep and objective data,
Right.
which gives a much more complete picture
Of course.
than relying on self-reporting alone.
That's a really smart approach.
Mm-hmm.
So they really nailed down the sleep data.
Yeah.
But what's the takeaway for like me at home?
Right.
Does this mean that if I skimp on sleep, I'm guaranteed to have these brain issues?
Well, it's important to remember that this research found a connection,
Okay.
but it can't definitively say that lack of sleep directly causes these brain changes.
Uh-huh.
However, it's a huge clue, especially when high blood pressure is involved. It's like the study is shining a spotlight on this link and saying, hey, this is something we need to pay attention to,
Yeah.
you know?
Sure.
Like,
It's a big wake-up call.
yeah,
Literally.
literally a wake-up call.
Yeah. Okay, so it really does make you think.
It does.
So if someone listening has high blood pressure, what's the message they should take away from this?
Yeah, the key takeaway here, I think, is that if you have high blood pressure,
Right.
prioritizing good sleep
Yeah.
becomes even more crucial for protecting your brain as you age.
Right.
It's not just about managing your blood pressure with medication. It's about, like,
Yeah.
incorporating healthy habits across the board,
Yeah.
and sleep is a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great point. You know, we talk a lot about diet and exercise on this show, but
Right.
sleep sometimes gets pushed to the back burner.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about
Yeah.
hitting a certain number of hours. We all have different sleep needs.
It's true.
It's about figuring out what enough sleep means for you
Right.
and making it a priority.
Yeah, talk to your doctor, figure out what works for you,
Yeah.
and make sleep a part of your health routine.
I think Dr. Matthew Pass, the study's author, actually summed it up perfectly.
What did he say?
He said, the importance of healthy blood pressure levels and adequate sleep for a healthy brain in old age cannot be overstated. He really emphasizes that good sleep should be considered just as important for a healthy lifestyle as diet and exercise.
Absolutely. I mean, he's not wrong.
Right.
It's so easy to overlook sleep, but this study really drives home
It does.
how impactful it can be, especially for those of us managing high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Is there more to the story than just how much RH we're sleeping, though?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
And you're right, there's more to it than just duration.
right.
The study focused on like the number of hours people slept,
Yeah.
but it didn't really dive into the quality of that sleep.
So that's definitely an area ripe for future research.
So even if you're clocking in enough hours, but you're tossing and turning all night, is that still a problem?
It very well could be.
Yeah.
We all know how groggy and mentally fuzzy we feel
Yeah.
after a night of poor sleep, even if we technically got enough hours.
Right.
So it would be fascinating to see if and how the type of sleep we're getting plays a role in all of this as well.
Yeah.
Do people who consistently get like deep, restful sleep have different outcomes than those who are constantly waking up or experiencing sleep disruptions?
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore in this area.
Definitely given us all something to think about.
Yeah.
But even with what we know now, it's clear that prioritizing sleep is an investment in our health,
Absolutely.
especially if we have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
What other insights can we glean from this research?
Well, I think it also raises some interesting questions about how we view sleep,
Okay.
not just as individuals, but from a broader public health perspective.
We tend to treat sleep as like a personal responsibility.
Right.
But what if we thought about it more as like a foundational piece
Yeah,
of a healthy society?
that's an interesting thought. What would that look like?
Imagine if sleep assessments were a routine part of doctors' checkups.
Okay.
What if we had more readily available resources for people struggling with sleep disorders? You know, could we potentially reduce the burden of chronic illnesses like hypertension by addressing sleep issues earlier on?
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It is.
If we started treating sleep as like essential health care,
Right.
who knows what kind of positive ripple effects we might see.
Exactly. It's time we recognize sleep for the powerhouse. It truly is, when it comes to overall health.
For sure.
Maybe with a little more awareness and some collective effort, we can create a world where everyone gets the restful sleep they deserve.
I love that vision.
Right.
Speaking of restful sleep, I think it's time to wrap up
Yeah.
this deep dive
That-
into the world of sleep hypertension and brain health.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts for our listeners today?
I'd say this research is a great reminder to make sleep a priority, especially if you're managing high blood pressure. Your brain will thank you for it.
Well said. And a huge thank you to all of you for joining us on the EMT-SPOT's Blood Pressure Podcast. I'm Samuel Harrison.
And I'm Olivia Harper.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who might find it valuable.
Until next time, sleep well.
It's funny, as we're wrapping up here,
Yeah.
I'm struck by how interconnected everything is when it comes to our health.
Yeah.
You know, we often think about diet, exercise, and sleep as separate things.
Right.
But they all work together.
Right. Absolutely. It's like a delicate ecosystem.
Right.
When one element is off balance,
Yeah.
it can throw the whole system out of whack.
Yeah, for sure.
And this study really highlights how ignoring something as fundamental as sleep can have ripple effects on other aspects of our well-being.
Especially for folks already dealing with a chronic condition like hypertension.
Exactly.
It's like this research is saying, hey, you've got to pay even closer attention to sleep if you want to keep your brain healthy as you age.
Exactly. It underscores the importance of taking a holistic approach to health.
Right.
It's not just about addressing one issue in isolation. It's about making lifestyle choices that support your overall well-being.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we want to thank you all for joining us today on the EMT-SPOT's Blood Pressure Podcast.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found this deep dive into sleep and brain health informative and maybe even a little inspiring.
We had a great time.
I'm Samuel Harrison.
And I'm Olivia Harper.
Remember to subscribe to the EMT-SPOT's Blood Pressure Podcast so you never miss an episode.
Please do.
And don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who might find it valuable.
Yes, spread the word.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of blood pressure and beyond.
Until then, sleep well.